What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to go through the prequel comic, The Last of Us: American Dreams. Probably just give you some small impressions and briefly flip through the pages. So this is something I just picked up. I was pretty excited about it because The Last of Us is definitely my most anticipated game of this year. And as you see here, it's made by Dark Horse Comics, and it's a four-issue series, and retails for around $3.99. And we're just gonna, like I said, briefly go through this. I'll read this here. I mean, if you want, you could pause as I flip through the pages. You know, I'll put it up in HD, so take this as a way to read the comic if you can't find it at a local shop. It wasn't exactly a widespread release. And just some basic facts here. Because I'm not following a lot of the game previews on purpose, because I don't want to be spoiled, I just wanted to read the comic and then jump right into the game. I might go over some things that are redundant, I don't know, but I'm just going to give you whatever the comic gives us. And pretty much the setting is in Boston, and this is 19 years after the outbreak started. So it's kind of interesting in that the outbreak started 19 years ago, and I think Ellie is 13, so she never actually saw the world as it was. She's been living in what seems like a quarantine zone that's walled in, and that's pretty much her view on the world. Now, for the older survivors, obviously they know what happened in the other world, and they have something to, judge by or compare by this world to that world, and they have some kind of standards. But it is pretty interesting to see a kid growing up in such an environment, because, like I said, they don't know the other world. So their values are going to be totally different, and it'll probably, not be too good on the mind. And just for thought here, she's coming into a military boarding school. Once you turn 13, the story says, all children are sent to this boarding school here. And it's kind of typical, this part. She meets up with a bully who tries to get into a fight, and then you got the one girl who kind of sticks up for her. Here's the art book. I definitely want to pick that up. So they go through this, and here's the character here who sticks up for Ellie, knocks out this guy, and Ellie's really, obsessed with this Walkman that she has. I guess it's her happy zone, so she likes to listen to that and whatnot. It's very important to her, and that's all she cared about in that panel there. And now they all run away as, I guess, one of the, I guess you could say, principals of the school, or one of the people involved with the entire organization wanted to scold her and go over her record as she just got here. So she goes up there briefly, and then they discuss that she's been into a lot of fights, and she just seems like a problem child. So he puts her to work, and she starts cleaning up this outdoor here. As you see, it's absolutely disgusting. And as she's cleaning this up, she realizes when she goes in her pocket that the girl stole her Walkman. So she gets pretty pissed about it. And then as she's cleaning here, she sees a finger. It looks like a finger stuck in between the door, like someone's hand was smashed in there. So it's pretty gruesome. And now I think what she's having here is some type of flashback. Either a flashback or she can see what happened. And I think this kind of coincides with, I did see a little bit on something where they focus on sounds to hear enemies. It's kind of like, I guess, radar, you could say, in the game, a gameplay mechanic. But I don't know, maybe that's something to do with this, maybe not. She's either seeing what happened or she actually had a flashback, but I'm pretty sure she somehow is just seeing what happened there. And here she confronts the one girl about the Walkman, and typical kind of cliche, hey, new kid type stuff, everyone's laughing, tosses her the Walkman, and she walks away alone. Not really disappointing or anything, but I guess in a boarding school this type of stuff is going to happen, so it's realistic in one sense, but story-wise, nothing too compelling yet. But as she's sleeping here and listening to her Walkman, she hears some kind of thumping and noises. So what she does is she, comes out of bed here, and she sees the girl who stole her Walkman and gave it back, trying to sneak out the door. So this is where they kind of buddy up again, or I guess get real with each other, and lay down the law. She says, you know, I'll rat you out. The other one's saying, will you keep up with me? That type of gimmick. So pretty much what she's doing is trying to get out of this boarding school here. And they're going to go ahead and try to escape. So you see them running out past the light and trying to get over this fence. This panel here, the last panel, is definitely the most interesting of the comic though. Like, I definitely looked at this one for a good 5 minutes and really just started to analyze it. And one of the first things I should say is her name is Riley. She lets you know that. So Ellie's quote-unquote friend is Riley. And Riley already knew Ellie's name for whatever reason. And as they're up here on this fence, they're looking at this world. And like I said, it's actually pretty interesting when you think about it. People who, I guess, are, you know, 19 or above, not even, probably like 20 and change and above, might remember and will remember, depending on the age, this world that was out there. And maybe it was a beautiful place, whatever it was was what we know. And for these girls, this looks like the quarantine zone that they're discussing. And the only thing they're held in by are these humongous walls. And they're said to be infected out there. Whether that be monstrous type things or creatures or just other people who are infected, you know, remains to be seen. I mean, I saw little in the gameplay, but I'm not going to say anything. And as they're looking out there, you know, for her, at this age, it has to be interesting. You know, they're in the boarding school. They're trying to get over into this town now. This is, I guess, where they grew up. This is all they know, is that area. And then when you see it out there, it is pretty ominous. You know, you see all these tall buildings and destruction. I mean, one building fell over, and it's pitch black, and it's obviously in the middle of the night. And you have to wonder, you know there are things out there, there are people out there. You have to wonder what's out there. And the unknown really is scary. And I feel this is a really strong panel right here. I definitely felt something from that. The entire comic, you know, issue 1, slightly cliche, just getting to know your characters. But that panel was a perfect last panel for me. So as you can see here, the next issue is on May 29th. So I'll be picking that up. If you want, just leave your comments. If you want me to do another video like this, I'll definitely do that. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the summary of it. My thoughts. And like I said, I'm definitely excited for this. As a comic fan, I could say it kind of relates the story to something like The Last Man or The Walking Dead, in that it's a post-apocalyptic world where a virus of some sort, you know, wiped everyone out. Obviously, it has its differences, but this is, if you like that type of thing, this is definitely going to be an exciting game. And I absolutely love that there was a prequel comic to let us know our characters and get some worth before we pop in the game. So I think that was pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, I'll do another if it's requested. Take care, guys.